it's Donna, and on my pretend cooking show today we are going to make Snicker cake. I found this recipe in my mother's recipe box several years ago, and I was like, Snicker cake, ooh, that sounds so good. And I thought, what? My mother never made a Snicker cake, but I made it and it's fabulous. So I wanted to share it with you kind of as a dressed up box cake. So we're gonna start off, and we've got a German chocolate cake mix, just using the box, and you mix it according to the recipe on the box. Just do exactly like it says on how to make the cake. So I went ahead and got all that mixed up, and there's gonna be two steps to this. First, you got this part of the cake, and I'm gonna get all of this in here. I don't wanna lose any of this, and I don't have a little person here to lick my batter, because I know the kids really like doing that, but I don't have anybody here for that. Let me rinse my hands. Okay. Now, one thing I want to tell you, whenever you make a cake, what I always like to do is not only mix it, but then I'm going to scrape the sides and the bottom really good. Make sure all the batter is fully incorporated in there. Now, before you pour it into your pan, you're going to make sure your pan is prepared. And it tells you to do this on the box. So just as a reminder, you're going to grease it. I use a spray, you know, like a non-stick spray. Spray it on there and then flour it, and you know, dust it with flour so that it's all nice and covered with an oily flour substance. Another really good product to use if you like saving a step is you can use that product. It's called Baker's Secret, and it has the flour and the oil all in one, and you just spray it around and get a good coat on it all throughout. Okay, something important you don't want to forget or miss on this one. You're going to pour only half of the batter into the pan, so we're just going to have to eyeball it and guess. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. It's been a while since I made this, so how much is half, I don't know. But I'm going to guess that's about, man, I want to cover the bottom. I feel like that's going to be important. So that's about right. Maybe a little more. Just want to make sure. There. I don't think it has to be super precise, but you're not going to put all the batter on it, because what's going to happen is you're going to put, once you're cooking it, you're going to put it in the oven, 350 degrees for 20 minutes. Then you're going to pull it out of the oven, and then we're going to put some other stuff on top of it and bake it some more. So I'm going to get this in the oven, and then I'm going to show you the next step. And we're going to move on to the next step. I've got my cake in the oven. It's baking. I've got some water that I'm going to start boiling on the stovetop. Now this is going to sound difficult, but it is not, and I'm going to show you how easy it is. Okay, we have caramels, and it's 14 ounces of caramels. You know, just the candies. You have to take them out of the wrapper. Don't forget to do that, of course. And I have them in here, and I put them in this glass bowl. It's not necessary to put them in a glass bowl like this, but I'm just doing it so you can see. And I have a, you're supposed to use a double boiler. I don't have a double boiler, and never have, because this is so easy to do this instead. But I just have like a regular Pyrex bowl, something that's going to it's not gonna hurt it if it gets hot. And I have a little bit of boiling water at the bottom. Before you try this at home, what you're gonna wanna do is put the water in there, and you want enough that it's not gonna boil away real quick, but you need to have it not touch, the water not touch the bottom of the pan. Because what we're doing is this caramel, we don't want it to burn. And so we're just going to have the heat from the steam of the water without the water actually physically touching the caramels. So it's going to be a very light melting of it. And inside here with the caramels, we're going to add a stick of butter. I have butter, but it's in the freezer. I didn't want to have to thaw it out, so I'm just going to use a stick of margarine. Okay. And we're going to add 1/3 of a cup of milk. And it's going to make a caramel sauce. And I'm going to do the safety thing that, you know, when you have kids, You always have to like be careful, but it's just a habit. I always move the handle to the inside, because what if I was walking along and I knocked that off and then have a big hot mess everywhere and on me and probably scald somebody or hurt somebody. Okay, I'm gonna just start melting the butter and the caramels over this hot boiling water. You just want the water to be boiling, and those caramels will start to get soft over time. So when this is done and it's all, the caramels are all melted, and my cake has been in the oven for 20 minutes, I've got my timer set. There was a little delay before I got started doing this, but typically when you're making this, that 20 minutes it takes to get that cake partially cooked, we're not cooking it all the way, we're going to partially cook it. You know, then by then your caramels normally will be ready. I don't know how the timing of this is going to work, but you're just going to keep this boiling. Now you keep an eye on your water in case for some reason you didn't get enough water in there because you were concerned with it touching the bottom of the Pyrex dish. Then you can just stop and put some more in there. And it's not super time sensitive, so if your caramels get ready before your cake, then you can just keep your burner on and keep it warm, because you're going to want it to be warm so that you know, it's going to be pourable. You want these caramels to be pourable. So I'm just going to get this going, and I'm going to go ahead and stop so that you don't have to watch this melt for 20 minutes. And oh, that's very hot, that steam. Careful, it can burn you. And then we're going to come back whenever these caramels are melted and my cake is ready to pull out of the oven. So I'll see you back in just a few seconds. Hi, I lowered my camera a little bit so you can see the process of what we're going to do to the cake. And I'm going to pull it out of the oven. It's been in there for 20 minutes, so it's only partially cooked. Now you're going to want to change the temperature on your oven, because it was on 350, but now we're going to reduce it to 250. Okay, so next we are going to take this caramel sauce. I'm going to make sure it's ready, but I'm pretty sure it is. It's all nice and runny. All incorporated, the melted caramels and the butter and the milk all in here together. So we're going to just get some hot pads because it's going to be hot. Like I said, remember that steam is a little hot, so I'm going to put it off my burner just so it's out of my way and not going to get me. Okay, we're just going to pour this all over the top of this partially cooked cake. I'm going to kind of focus on the middle because it'll kind of run onto the sides. And this is pretty hot, this bowl, so you will want to be careful. Get you a good pot holder. Let me get a rubber spatula so I can get all that goodness out of there. And you want to work quickly with this caramel because it will start to thicken as it cools down. It doesn't take much for it to cool. So I'm going to try to hurry up and get this done. Oh wow, it's going to be good. Okay, now on top of this, we're going to put, oops, that caramel's sticking to my pot holder. Okay, on top of here, I have some, let's see how many nuts I have. 2/3 a cup of chopped pecans. So you're just gonna sprinkle those on there. It's gonna kind of get glued on there with that caramel. Be very careful when you're using this caramel. It is hot candy. Boiling hot candy will burn you, very bad burn. Okay, so and I've got, looks like I got 3/4 cup chocolate chips. I just used Toll House semi-sweet chocolate chips. I guess you could use milk chocolate chips if you want. I'm gonna sprinkle that, get it in the corners. So every bite is delicious. Okay, now this pan is running out of room. Okay, so then we are going to finish off with the other half of cake mix. It says to dollop it on there, so I'm just going to kind of run it around. So remember, your temperature's been reduced to 250 in the oven, and we're gonna bake it for just a little bit longer at 250. I'll look and see what the exact time is. Chocolatey. This is a really good cake, I'm gonna tell you. You might think it's not worth it for the extra time, but you're not gonna put any icing on it because it is got the chocolate chips and the pecan and the caramel. That is the icing. So I'm gonna kind of spread this around so it's kind of everywhere. Just wanna make sure you got some of this all over it. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, oops, you know what? It's not good enough. I want some more over here. Okay, there we go. Good, 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 yummy. Okay, now I'm gonna pop this in the oven, and we're gonna leave it in the 250 oven for 20 minutes, and then we're gonna, oh, hello, I'm down here, you're down here. we're gonna cook it at 250 for 20 more minutes, and then we're gonna turn the oven up again to 350 and cook another 12 minutes. Now, my oven cooks a little hotter than normal ovens. I've just kind of noticed that, so I'm just gonna keep an eye on it for that 20 minutes and then that 15 minutes, and then when it looks like it's ready, I'm gonna pull it out, and then we're gonna enjoy. I'll show you some pictures of what it looks like when it's done. You have a good day. Whoa.